Hey, my name's Tegan and today I will be introducing my lesson for Stage 5 History, the Freedom Rides. Students have had prior learning and previously explored the US Civil Rights Movement, key figures such as Martin Luther King Jr. They are aware of racism and activism concepts and have practiced basic source analysis and historical empathy in earlier lessons. The diverse learners we do have in focus today are Student A, an Aboriginal female student with a history of chronic otitis media and mild hearing loss, needs visual scaffold proximity to the teacher and culturally responsive content that reflects her identity. Now, the second student we have is an EALD student who recently arrived from Lebanon. She is in phase 2 of the ESL scales for writing and speaking and requires simplified language, visuals and structured pair work for confidence and engagement. The syllabus outcomes utilised in today's lesson is HT54 describes and explains the struggles for rights and freedoms in Australia, and HT510 selects and uses appropriate historical terms and concepts. The ATL standard is 1.5. Know your students and the way they learn. Differentiate teaching to meet the specific learning needs of students across a full range of abilities. There's been a myriad of teaching strategies and resources that are utilised throughout the whole lesson and the unit of work that assists our students in fostering a deep understanding of historical content in context and creating inclusive, safe environments. Now, some of these are in terms of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander student, using a YouTube clip of the 1965 Freedom Rides with Uncle Charlie on there, giving primary source evidence for what eventuated during those rides, provides an authentic voice and multimodal learning, and this is especially helpful for students in building background knowledge and limited prior understanding as per ACARA 2022. We've also used the Town Card Simulation Pack. Now, this assists all students to build empathy, engagement and collaboration and to access history emotionally and cognitively as per the ATL Teaching Standard 1.5 and 1.6. Note-taking and the scaffolding and also the formative assessment, the reflective practice, is a tool that promotes metacognition. And Dylan Williams' Principles for Assessment of Learning, 2011, it gives immediate feedback on the learner and how they have learnt. My use of explicit teaching and principles from the Quality Teaching Framework and ATL's teacher standards have been utilised to support my EALD student within this lesson by the use of explicit teaching, clear, simplified language, visual aids such as images and videos, and provided a structured note-taking scaffold to support comprehension. These strategies reduce the cognitive load and ensure that this student can access key historical concepts without relying solely on English language proficiency. Group activities like the simulation and the Think, Pair, Share, they promote oral language and they develop oral language in a low pressure collaborative setting. And we all know that students benefit greatly from an inclusive and safe classroom, and that allows them to create meaningful relationships and to engage with curriculum content regardless of language background. This lesson uses culturally responsive teaching practices to support Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students by embedding First Nations perspectives, utilising local Aboriginal people as per the towns they went around as a primary source, and promoting historical empathy. Strategies used during the simulation not only validated the students' cultural identities, but also deepened critical understandings of civil rights movement throughout history. These align with standards 1.4 and the QTF, Quality Teaching Framework, focus on significance and connectedness. Additionally, I consider the impact of otitis media a condition disproportionately affecting Aboriginal children by providing visual scaffolds and multimodal delivery supporting equitable access to content. These inclusive strategies reflect principles and quality teaching principles, but what they also do is they allow an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander person to engage in this topic and in a meaningful way, reflecting on real world experiences, which creates a safe learning environment for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students within our classrooms. The 321 exit ticket for formative assessment is a tool that promotes metacognition and gives you immediate feedback on learning. It's aligned with Dylan Williams's Principles of Assessment for Learning, 2011, and my note-taking scaffold provides structured support for students who may need help for processing oral content and hearing impaired learners. This lesson emphasises the impact on student voice, empathy and curriculum engagement, creating confident, lifelong learners and boosting student efficacy across all KLAs. And it reflects inclusive evidence-based practice and how that can be utilised for student-centred learning.